the other thing too is that there's just the way that we do things and the way that you do, it fixes the actual issue, the problem. We're working on the problem, whereas a lot of other things just work on the symptom, you know, like it's like, and then
modern
eventually
medicine,
it gets worse.
Modern medicine is very symptom oriented, right? You go in, you tell them your symptoms, they give you some sort of medication, drug that removes the symptom. You know, ultimately, you have to remember your body is in a course of healing. What's healing you is your body. You know, for the most part, they're going to help maybe decrease inflammation or whatever it is. But essentially, it's, the foundation of your body is going to heal you. And as you get older and your body gets unhealthier or your metabolism drops, or you continue to add more stress onto the system, it's not as good to heal you, essentially, right? And so the doctor just gives you more medication so that you can live your life without symptoms, so that you can continue to live your really stressed out life with your crappy eating patterns, right? So that's where our medicine and our medical system is taking people. They're never addressing your foundation at all. And to me, I mean, this is like your investments monetarily for your lifetime, right? You're not going to just like put $1,000 in the bank and say, I'm good for the rest of my life, right? I don't need to invest anymore. No, you're going to keep doing it indefinitely, because you know this is for a lifetime. You know this is a habit that you have to take for your life to keep things going in the direction you want to go. And that's essentially what this is. This is not about weight loss. This is about building your body to gain health back so that it can do the things that you want it to do. And if weight loss is one of those things, but it will just kind of start happening per se with you trying to force it off. When you try to force weight off, it's never going to stay. Or if it does, you've usually created some sort of eating disorder or some sort of obsession. That's the only way I've ever seen it work for people when they try to force weight off. If you try to allow the body to work for you the way it's going to, and do healthful workouts and eating patterns, and then live your life in a way that you're, ways we all grateful and so forth, then you are able to create the body you want and live in that place of, like you say, you're like, I'm a happy person. I feel good. I wake up every day with joy and happiness and gratitude. I'm like, yeah, because you have the foundation, I mean, and so the food is your foundation to everything. And
totally.
It's not everything. It's not everything. Like, you have to address a lot of different things, but without it, you are going to be very shaky. And, people, I see them do other work on themselves and they can gain, progress. But if they don't have that strong food foundation, they're easily swayed.
Totally.
The work they have done, if something happens, they get easily swayed again. Whereas this, you start getting strong to able to adapt and have so much more resilience that you can deal with everything. And, and I think that's what we were talking about before, is that, people will be on this path and then they feel good. And they'll be like, Kate, I've been really feeling great, but all of a sudden, yesterday I feel like crap, and I don't know, maybe it was the milk or this. And then I'm like, well, what did you do yesterday? Well, I came home and I, did like 4 hours of yard work, and then I got up the next day and it was really hot, but I wanted to finish it. And, maybe I didn't eat enough. And then I was out in the sun, doing physical labor for 6 hours. I'm like, okay. You're like, yes, you're more resilient, but you still have to fuel the body and be aware of now the stressors. And the thing is, when your metabolism starts to improve and your body uses more energy, when you do something like activity for long periods of time, you need a crap load more fuel to maintain your level of health now. I mean, that's one of the responsibilities, is you've got to eat more all the time. And when you do more, you got to keep eating. I mean, that's like one of the things. And some people are like, God, there's so much food. I'm like, yeah, that's what happens. That's
so
part
good,
of
though.
It's a good thing, right?
I love to eat.
It's a really good thing. Totally. I mean, so many women are like, my God, I wish I could eat that much. I'm like, but and you know, to me, I mean, sometimes I'm like, God, my grocery bills are really high. I mean, I feel like my grocery bills are enough for like a family of 4, and I'm like, so high. But I mean, it's, I laugh and it's not a thing, but that's what happens when you are active. You need so much more food, and that's just part of it. So yeah, we know that when you start to get better and you start to heal and you do a lot of activity, you're not in that efficient state anymore. So you got to fuel it. And if you do a lot of activity and then you go to bed and you don't eat, you're probably not going to sleep very good. You're going to be sore the next day, and if you do it again, you might have some digestive issues or whatever. So you have to support your new state of being.
I think though it's good, like when you get to this point, it's so easy for you to, like now I've had that big week of training, got to Sunday, I'm like, I just need to eat more food. I just knew it. I had a great sleep, felt good, and I was instantly better the next day. You know, it's a quick, it might be quick till you feel shitty, but you can fix it quickly because you understand what it is and you're not afraid anymore to eat the food. I think, you know, it's, yeah. And again, coming back to the, and as I know I talk about training because we obviously, that's part of our program, but you know, you cannot build a body that you're going to love by starving it. You can't build muscle. You can't perform in the gym. You can't recover if you don't eat. Like, you need those carbs, you need that sugar, you need the protein, and you need more of it. It's like, and I think so many women, they're just so scared. They're so scared. And I've seen, like, I'll go into the gym and I've had times when, you know, maybe I haven't quite eaten enough and I can feel it. I can't perform. Versus when I, you know, like every session I do now, I'll drink like 500 mils of orange juice and coconut water and salt every session without fail in an hour. And I just think to myself, oh, fuck, how did I used to train, fasted? Well, the thing is, I didn't train very well. I wasn't performing at a high level. I wasn't like, think of yourself like an athlete. That's how we talk to the women in our program. You know, you need to fuel yourself. You need to recover. You need to rest. You know, you're not going to perform if you don't.
Yeah, but when you're in your 20s and 30s, you can live in that stress state. Your body is just more resilient because it's younger anyways. So you can kind of, I mean, and I used to work out like crazy. I mean, just cardio and weights and, you know, and I wasn't even as lean back then. And I do maybe a 10th or an 1/8 of what I used to do. Is so, I mean, it's so minimal what I know I need to do now because I don't try to do all that crazy shit anymore. I'm like, why was I doing this? But you know, yeah, I mean, when you start to support yourself and you realize that now you're building a body that is not efficient, that you require lots of fuel, you know, when you have a hard workout day, because, you know, lifting heavy, it takes an immense amount of sugar power.
Totally.
It's super, and it's hard, and it's taxing on your nervous system. As if anything, that's why people get so drained after it. So you've got to give yourself a lot of sugar before, after, the whole day that you've been training to help build them. And because people are like, well, I want to gain muscle, so I eat more protein. I'm like, yeah, you need protein, but
need
the actual
carbs.
part of the body that needs, for you to build the protein, to create that energy, to have that is the carbohydrates. You need a lot more. It's always
totally. And you can feel it. You can feel it. You can feel it. But I guess, again, like, it's getting in tune with your body. And you, for so long, you taught, you know, that women are just so afraid to eat, you know, and yeah, it's.
Yeah. And I think that just say it is, that is normal because of what you've been taught and what you've been told, and the fear around your body and food. And I think the industry that's been created feeds on that fear, because you sell a lot of product and a lot of supplements and a lot of food plans and a lot of bullshit. So there's a lot of money to be based on the fear of gaining weight. And because this is like, okay, we need to take away the fears, because you're going to make wrong choices if you stay in that feared pattern. And I think it's always a good, and I like to say this all the time, I go, if you're making decisions based on fear, they're usually the wrong decisions. So if you find out you're saying, I need to eat less because I'm fearful of gaining weight, then that is not the way that's going to create a good path for you. I'm eating more because I want to support my body. I'm eating more because I know I have stress. I'm eating more because I need to support the system. Those are all positive thoughts that are going to get you through the day. So know that that's old brain patterns, and they can be broken, but you have to submerge yourself into this process. That's why I think your group is so great, because they get 24-hour assistance and people to support them, that if they need it, they can keep having it, because, you know, and that's why it's like, read the book 10 times, whatever you need to do. Go on your Facebook page, get submerged in this process, because it's such a better way. It takes work to get through it initially, but once you get going, oh my God, your life is going to be so much easier, and so much better, and so much happier. And it's just, you know, and you get to eat good food, which is like,
totally.
who would have thought?
and like you say, it's, and I think why you and I are so passionate about this, and it's the foundation. Like, when you sleep well and you don't hate your body anymore, and your hormones are in balance and you feel energized, it's like you can do anything. Like, I feel like I can do anything. I know that I can do anything now if I give it long enough and I fail enough times. Whereas before I'd be quite, because you just, you know, and now on the odd occasion that I don't eat enough, or I have a heavy training session, I don't feel my body, I get that, like your blood sugar, you're running on stress hormones again, and you just feel anxious. And you don't sleep very well. And, you know, then the stories start in your head. Well, that's what happens to me. And automatically I do I call it, the virus check. Like, okay, have I eaten enough? What was my sleep like? You know, and usually when you fix those things and you wake up the next day, you had a good sleep, you're like, okay, cool. Everything's in perspective again. I can actually make good decisions. It's like you're fighting. It's like you're trying to push a car with square wheels. If you don't get this right.
Yeah. And you got to remember, if you do teach your body to be in an efficient state long enough, you can actually kind of feel somewhat normal for a while because you've taught your body to require less food, right? And so, but what starts happening, breakdowns, you know, hormonal, digestion, sleep, all those will eventually catch up to you, right? So you can teach yourself to be efficient. When you teach efficiency, you can almost go longer periods of time and do more activity without eating because your body's so much more efficient, right? Like marathon runners can do that. I mean, they teach us efficiency because it's not, you know, really helpful to them to have to eat every 45 minutes, right? So but if you don't want to be a marathon runner, right, and you know, to win the marathon runs or whatever, and you want to teach your body to be a metabolic burner and to be less efficient so that you use more calories, but in that your body's just going to run better, feel better, so forth, then you start to realize that, right? You don't want to be efficient. You want to be very wasteful when it comes to calories so that your body also knows to use it in all of the systems of your body. But again, teach your body efficiency and it will become efficient. Teach your body wastefulness and it will learn to, again, utilize lots of calories, but also it helps your system just run better.
You know what too? Food should be enjoyed as well. You know, like I was just thinking about that the other day, like when I had Mother's Day and I made my mum this like amazing lamb shanks, and obviously I ate it with the mashed, but had two massive, and I thought, fuck, it's so nice just to sit here and eat this food and enjoy it with my family and not be thinking, oh, fuck, you know, or like before I would eat off my chicken and broccoli and I would binge like crazy. Whereas the Mother's Day, I just had some nice cheese to start with, and, you know, then I ate the lamb shanks and I had a piece of fudge. You know, it wasn't like, holy fuck, I've got to go crazy, and just actually to enjoy food and have a better relationship with food. For total, isn't it? You probably have to go now, don't you?
I do.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, thanks very much, Kate. Don't forget, everyone, go buy a book. Head over to our website. You can buy it. It's honestly really good. It's a really, really, really good read, and I think like it just immerse yourself and read more and be in groups.
It helps to see it on all levels, right? It helps to see things. It helps to read things. It helps to have something there that you can reference back. Because the more you do it, the more things start to make sense to you. And the more it makes sense, you know, the easier this process is going to be for you. So, and I think, you know, using all the tools you possibly can are going to make it easier. But, you know, and it's work in the beginning, but long-term, your life is going to be way easier. So put the work in now, you know, you'll have so many better years.
Totally. All right. Well, have a great day, and I'll see you next time.
You got it, Kitty. Thank you.
Bye. Bye.